a myriad of things. So I think first of all we have to go back to writer. You are very well known for teaching skills. Your students speak a whole lot about you. Miss Nigeria competition.
And I said, let's pick them up. Let's take them back to Nigeria and let's teach them a different kind of job.
Hello, thank you for joining us again on the show, The Woman. My name is Elizabeth, and you know what we do here? We bring out women who are doing exceptionally well in a whole lot of ways. Wherever they find themselves, they distinguish, and in spite of whatever stepping or stumbling block that might just be on the way, they turn around as a stepping stone to success. My guest is such personality. She has a lot of firsts attached to her name, and very importantly, despite whatever that might be hanging around, she has never given up on her philanthropic tendencies, her charity. As long as she's concerned, hope must be kept alive. Who is this guest? Find out right after now. Okay, if you're just joining us, you're right on time because I'm about to showcase this wonderful woman who is not, in fact, she has actually signed off old age because every day she grows younger rather than grow older. She is known as a whole lot of things, but let's begin by introducing her as the very first Secretary General of the officers' wife, Nigerian officers' wives here in Nigeria. Actually, was in Ilori, and then she was also elected as the president of Retired Armed Forces and Police Officers' Wives Association. She founded the Wives of Representative Members Wife Association. And she is also known for a whole lot of things which we will showcase. Join me as I welcome them, Tumini, Christy, Akogun. Nice to have you, ma.
It's a pleasure.
Okay. I started by saying that people grow old, you grow young. Tell us, what's the secret?
Because I take things easy.
I noticed.
Yes.
Because when I walked in here, it was so exciting to be in your place. From the door, with all the Christmas decorations already flying out, I felt welcome. I felt when I walked in a little bit, I also saw the lovely, manger you had set up somewhere to welcome baby Jesus. Thank you for that because it really puts me in the right mood for this interview. I enjoyed it. And I also see Daddy with you. He's 80 years.
Yes.
Not too long ago, he turned 80.
July, yeah.
Yes, I'm seeing his picture here. I've also seen him live. And he's not looking anything beyond 60. How do you manage to feed him? What do you do to make him look so young?
Well, we make sure that he's happy all the time. And he is quite prayerful. And we pray together. We eat together. And he doesn't eat much. And we do much. We give him a lot of seafood. From my background, we eat a lot of...
Yeah, River State.
Yes.
A lot of seafood.
Yes.
You know what you have stressed here for me? You kept talking about happiness. When I asked you about yourself, you said, I try to be happy. And I asked about him, you say you make him happy.
Yes.
So happiness has a way of reducing age. And you're just reiterating it again. I'm happy for that. But back to, he was an officer and you were his wife.
Yes.
You are still his wife.
Yes.
But I want to go back to that days, to those days. I once spoke with the late Victoria Aguirre, and she said it wasn't that easy being a military person's wife. How did you manage, being a wife of a soldier?
Well, you didn't know any other way. We started that way. You had no other experience. So you only had to grow with the way you find yourself. So we had to tolerate whatever we found out on our way. As the course, the army directs, you obey.
You move with it. Were there moments you panicked, so my husband has gone out, is he going to make it back? Those worries.
A time that he was at work in Ilori, I was expecting my second child or third one, I can't remember. I was quite big. And I was cooking and I heard on the radio martial music. You know, being with him for 2-3 years, and they've been in all this series of coups that time. So I caught that. I said, no, I had to pick the car key. I drove to the office. He was panicking when he saw the car. He said, who will have brought this? I drove there. I said, I said, please, my dear, come, let's go. Let's go. He couldn't understand it. His commandant was there. Other officers, they even came out, wondering what Madam would be looking for. I said, no. I was scared that martial music means there's a coup. There's trouble. So before anything can get to my husband or hurt him,
Let me
let's
take
go.
him away.
He just got his driver, got Audley to the car, said he should drive me back.
And he stayed back.
Instead, he never came back
Wow.
until night.
Wow. They were really happy
And that
at
was
the end of
very,
it, nothing
very
happened.
serious time for me. I was shaking, you know, newly married couple and everything that is happening. You want safety for your husband. And we are coming from the war zone.
Okay, and then for 50 years you have stayed in that marriage. He's alive and you're still alive, and you're all having a good time with the children.
Right.
Okay, so and then he moved from being that to becoming a politician. Went for, you know, the House of Rep, and again, the wife of a politician is also on edge. So how were you able to also manage it? Because I know with politics, it's hardly around again.
Yes, he wasn't there. It was always one meeting or the other, traveling, going. Actually, he started the politics by going in for governorship of Edo State.
Okay.
And I think that was before the date of Abacha. So by the time he was still campaigning when they said General Abacha has died. So, you know, everything had to stop just like that. Whatever you are doing, it's like stop. So I was going to join him in Edo for campaign and take some more money back so that they will use it around. But when I heard the news, I said he will be waiting for me. There was no phone, no GSM.
There was no GSM, yes.
So if I don't go, he will be panicking. He will be so worried. So I went with my women. We drove, had all kinds of encounters in Benin. By the time we got to Akogun, it was something else. But we thank God we got home safely and we saw him. We said, come, no problem. And we had to wait for the next phase. When they gave them chance to take off, he now moved in, and the people, his own people said, no, come and go for, I think they said he should go for Senate. It didn't, at that time, it didn't work out. He said, okay, he will take his time. They gave him 1 or 2 political appointments, member of the Uniben board and so on. And later, he now went to go. In fact, actually, they came and lured him that he must come for reps, that nobody will go for his people. He should be the one. He has to go. They called me. I said, I'm not part of it. I'm not a politician. I'm a business person. I don't want. They said they insisted, and he went. Because they called him, it was easy. If he won and he came to the house.
In all of this, I noticed that you have always had a way. You said, me and my women. You know, you have always had a way of rallying women around you. In Ilori, you started you were
I was the first secretary of the
General.
NAWA.
Yes. So, how did you people start that in that place? What led to it?
No, but normally the culture of Nigerian Army, the wives must have that group. We call it Nigerian Army Officers' Wives Association. NAWA. So my husband had a boss, with commandant at that time. Then I was a Colonel Diomo. The wife automatically president, and the governor's wife patron, so matron, whatever they called it, because the husband also a military man, Mrs. Bamboy. And the when they formed, they gathered us together to start the Nawa meeting. They had to, we had an election. Everybody voted that I must be the secretary. I said, you don't even know me before. We have just all come to Ilorin to serve. Why do you insist that I must be your secretary? He said, no. As with my background, coming back from England, you should be the one to be our secretary. I was secretary until we left Ilorin.
Wow.
We went to Ibadan. Ibadan now, they chose me as the PRO of Naowa. We had Mrs. Gerardamo's wife as the president. We moved from Ibadan to Lagos. Lagos people, you according to your zone, we in cantonment, Ikeja. Some other people in Ikoyi. Now they said I should be the zonal, the area woman leader in Ikeja. So when we go for meetings, I will speak for Ikeja Nawa. So that's how it was all through until we left.
Even when you became, even when you
Retired.
You still
That one
became
was another
president.
mystery. Yes. Because they formed that association, RAFPOA, Retired Armed Forces and Police Officers Association. When they said Lagos, every state must have its own chapter. Yes, it was the Women Affairs Commissioner. He said, now, ladies, you have to choose who will be your leader. This is what the instruction we got from Abuja. That we must start Retired Armed Forces and Police Officers. And there were too many senior officers' wives. You know, the military, you're so disciplined that you don't want to talk when you have senior. No, you don't. They started voting. I was busy nominating the senior officers. Other people too they were all conniving behind me that I must be the one. I said, it's not possible. You have the admiral's wives, you have Air Vice Marshal's wives, general's wives, police IG, they retired.
Why me?
Before you know it, they have finished. They gathered all the paper. They said, Mr. Akogun is it. I was shocked. I said, this is not what I came for. That's how we started. And I had no choice than to lead them.
Beautiful. Now, in all of this, we've tried to trace the journey all the way from Ilorin till now. How has these associations really been able to impact on the lives of women, especially both the ones at the time you were there, you know, as the officer's wife, and then, of course, retired? Because a lot of times we want to know what is this doing for the ordinary woman in the society, especially your members.
Retired Armed Forces and Police Officers' wives, we did a lot of work together because I was in charge of Lagos State chapter. I had to try to write, I tried to get things, you know, like writing some companies in Lagos, oil companies, that people should make some donations to support our women. That if they have any problem, we will donate to them. If they have any need, we'll look for help. I talk to the authorities. I used to come to Abuja to talk to people in defense, talk to people in Ministry of Health. Whatever the women needed, I will come round to discuss with the senior people in the ministry to make sure that they are comfortable.
Okay, that's nice. And now when you retired, your act of charity never stopped. You started, in fact, the first time I heard about you was when somebody told me about the Hope Alive. And Ningin. Okay, this is a part of what you do, your brochure. So I want to know, how did you birth this? What gave birth to it? How did you start this? Because I see a lot of charity you're doing. I had to flip through some pages and spoke with some people. Constantly you donate. Tell us more about it.
Actually, you see, I have a background, a very lowly background. My dad died, I was about 5 months old, and my mom wasn't.
5 months?
Yes.
Oh.
My senior sister was about maybe 2 years or something, and my mom was not that kind. She wasn't, back in the village, she didn't have anything apart from trading, buying fish and selling things and so on. there was not much for me to look up to help me to be what others were in those days. But somehow I knew I had to survive. I have to work hard. I have to do. In fact, I would trade. I would do whatever happens. I must go to school. I must live well. And my mom and my auntie, everybody believed in me. But so when I got married, and by the special grace of God, Daddy became house leader. I said I must do something to help. In fact, even before he went to House of Reps, I started going to his village to be paying school fees and giving JAMB fees and WAEC fees to some of the indigent students. But unfortunately, the first set of people we gave money, cash, we gave them cash instead of buying the form.
Yes.
They used the money to buy jeans and shoes and everything, and I never had the end of it. I said, no more. I went away for some time, then I came back again. I said, this time I'm coming with form, JAMB form, WAEC forms, everything, I'll pay and give to the principal. So they bring their parents, their guardians, and so on to my place. We will take photographs. You can see some of these where I'm giving them. It's our students in the village.
Okay.
Give them the forms to fill. At least the principal will guide them. And a few years back now, I found that some of them graduated in the university. I was very thrilled. I said, oh, Father, this is something that, I didn't have the opportunity. Nobody came out to do for me.
And now you found yourself.
But I heard people doing it now in this current time. So I should be able to do for somebody.
Now, your Ningin Hope Alive Foundation,
Yes.
Yearly you give out stuff. What's the procedure? How do you identify who needs it and then who does not?
But when we started
as we
having...
speak, some people might just be wanting to.
Yes, when Daddy left office, we started Marvelous Friends Prayer Group Fellowship in my house. We meet every 2 weeks. So after some time, we said, 2 years, let's celebrate our anniversary. Because we meet 2 weeks, and every other month, we will invite people for outreach. We will cook for them, make lunch. We invite widows. Some of them are in Buhari, there's so many there. They will come over. We carry things to orphanage. We give them, in fact, even during my tenure with the HOMWA, Honorable Members' Wives, I told them, I introduced this outreach, going to less privileged homes. We go to this, what they call it, but it's a Catholic place, poorest of the poor, something, yes, on the Gwagwalada Road. Then we go to Kwali. There's another place near Kuje, handicapped. 5 years we got these women, the widows, said before now we're giving you people money, clothes and food. We want to know, we interviewed them, those who could sew, we bought sewing machines for them.
That's good.
Those who could grind tomatoes and things, we bought grinding machines, big one, in the industrial ones for them, so that they would no longer be begging for food. They can use that one and help their family, the children that go to school and so on. And they were very happy about it, and that's how we continued. People were giving money, even though they may not give all what we wanted, all our plans, but whatever they give, we utilize completely on these people.
So you gave me this book as soon as I walked in, and I was thrilled. It says Grace Alone. I've been flipping through the pages, and I see a lot of lovely pictures. I saw one picture where you were in a lorry with your this. I'll show the whole world the picture, and I was laughing. I said, "Yeah, this is Baby Lahot."
What?
Yeah. So, and you started telling the story about the lorry. You said when you were in the lorry, what happened?
We didn't have air conditioners.
Air conditioners.
No.
Oh.
And I wasn't used to one.
Okay.
no. So eventually, the army issued Daddy with one AC. I said, you better put it in the parlor where you'll be sitting. Don't put it in the bedroom because I don't know how I will react to it. Something
You're
I have
actually
not-
scared of AC?
Yes, because we never had it in my mom's place.
Did you guys hear that?
We didn't have fan. We didn't have
You didn't have
AC.
fan, you didn't have AC
no,
growing
no,
up?
No.
So now,
No.
you're used to it.
No, I can't.
Did
Last
you have
night they
television?
took. No, the last night they took light.
Okay.
Before the security man could put on the generator. Sleep left my eye because of heat.
Oh,
The
okay.
weather
Now
is
you're
terrible.
over used to it.
No, I'm just used to the sound.
Oh, the sound.
Yes,
All
because
right.
I put on temperature 27 or 26. Some other people put on 18.
Yes, 18.
So you see,
So-
I'm not still used to it.
Were you used to television as well?
Did we see television? No, when it came, it was something that everybody gathered to come and see something new. As if something is it a dream or spirit?
Inside the box.
Inside the box.
Oh.
It was something else. People used to describe you as somebody who has that thing that people talk from inside. I don't know what it was, but it was television. I hadn't traveled.
Interesting. Thank you so much. And I know that this is an autobiography of who you are. I want to share a bit of the story with us.
Well, I can tell you about it's growing up and my life during the Biafran War, and how I met my husband, and how I followed him to England when he was sent on a single officer's course. He was not supposed to carry any wife, but I insisted I have to go with him. You can't leave me alone. I was just expecting to come.
I salute you.
I was in London with him. Went to school there. He left me and came back, and I eventually came back. I had my daughter, and life continued.
Beautiful. It's indeed for me a delight to be with you. But you've been talking about Daddy and how growing up with him and living with him has been so sweet, and how you make him happy. And I also know that one of the things you do to make him happy is to feed him well. And I intend to go to the kitchen.
Oh my God!
with you. Yes. So we're going to go to the kitchen and investigate the kind of food they have been eating, because between her and the corner himself, the honorable, there is no growing old, it's growing young. And she tells me is happiness, which is also part of the cooking. Let's go and see what the food looks like, and then I'll learn. You too will learn. Right. Wow. I know you're almost chef. So how did you cook? Cooking with just you and your one daughter, Tokubo. I think you overworked her.
Yes, sir.
You're not even denying it.
No,
Oh my God.
she was the market woman. She goes to the market every day.
That's the same sleeve. I actually like the aroma.
Yes.
That's good enough, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Until I taste it.
You know, when I learned to cook at a point, I want to buy kitchen skill. For everything I cook, I scale it.
Why?
But I noticed you're not using scale.
No, because when we learned this,
You know?
we learned off scale. I started cutting okazi leaf at age 10.
That's the part I come in.
It's not your hand you play, it's spoon.